Well, to discuss that further, and I joined Mr. E. Michael Jones, who is the editor of Culture Wars online magazine, and he's joining us live now via Skype from Indiana. Mr. Jones, the Turks say that these are the Syrian Kurds that are responsible for this attack. How do you feel about that?
I think the claim is preposterous. The Kurds have no motivation whatsoever to do something like this. When you're confronted with one of these bombings, no one knows who does it, and so they always round up the usual suspects, and Erdogan is trying to use this as a way of attacking the Kurds. The real issue here is the climax of the war in Syria. The Russians are on the verge of closing the border. The Saudis have threatened to send 300,000 troops to invade, okay? At this point, the Saudis don't have 300,000 troops. That's a bluff. But the Turks do have an army that they could send into Syria. This bombing is an attempt to provoke Turkey into attacking Syria. It's pretty clear that's the only rational explanation for it.
Right. So where do we go from here? Do you think that Turkey will, in fact, escalate this even further? Because, you know, even the Russians, and it's seemingly at least the Americans, also side with the Syrian Kurds, who are quite successful in their fight against Daesh.
Of course they've been successful. That's why the Saudis and their Takfiri allies need to have a game changer here. They know they can't produce it themselves, so they and the Israelis, I suspect the Mossad here, need to set off a provocation that will provoke Turkey into attacking Syria. Now, Turkey is a member of NATO, so all I can hope at this point is that the grown-ups over here, maybe John Kerry, will prevail and reigning in Turkey from starting World War III. Because if Turkey invades Syria, Russia is going to respond, and it's going to respond in a way that will be payback for shooting down that jet, and that could escalate very easily because, as I said, Turkey is a member of NATO.
We have about a minute left, Mr. Jones. Are you pessimistic or optimistic going forward that things will cool down, or do you think things will just only get worse now?
It seems that there are some grown-ups in Washington. They did do a deal with Iran. Why did they do the deal with Iran? Because they like Iranians? No. Because they realized they could not, they're overextended already. They cannot possibly conquer Iran, and so they're going to have to make some type of accommodation. So I think that the grown-ups are going to have to tell Erdogan to cool off and back off, and they're going to have to come to some type of diplomatic solution in Syria.
Okay, we'll leave it there at that point. But as always, of course, we appreciate your insight. That was Mr. E. Michael Jones, who was speaking to us live from Indiana.